No words. It doesn't matter if you guys like it or hate the cliffhanger, but I love it. It would have been nice if they kept coming out of the fire for part two. That would have been a great cliffhanger, just to end everything with everyone being sad and then burning the body. But the way they did it, it was still good because Ook looked like a badass coming out of that. And just seeing Mudok, well, Naksu, just going crazy, killing everybody, killing Ota, killing Ook, which we knew that he wasn't going to be completely gone, but just everything. Oh, blah, blah. Let's not beat around the bush. Let's get to it. Now, let's talk about the trailer for part two, which is coming in December. I cannot wait. Ook looks stronger than he ever has been before. Dangu has a new hairstyle, and I think Pakjin has a new hairstyle too. And Naksu, she's back in her own body. Now, as much as I love romance in any Korean drama, I gotta get this out of the way because it's the action, the tense JinMu scheme. It's what topped it off in this finale. So, love is in the air. It was nice seeing Pakjin and maidservant Kim walking, talking about what type of house she wants, the flowers, and as dense as Pakjin is, he didn't caught on that it was him that she liked and not Master Lee. It was kind of funny just seeing him beat himself over, the fact that he was so dense he didn't caught on, he ruined everything. But it finally came, these two are actually together, We didn't see them kiss, but I would love to see just a peck or two, because these two are such a cute couple. But, Mr. Lee, oh, well, Master Lee, I should say. Oh, he cried. I felt so bad for him. And then, of course, Ook and Mudok are getting married. They're not getting married at the same time as Dangu and Choyeon, but they are getting married. It was nice seeing them, go ring shopping, giving back hugs. It's not a Korean drama if there's no back hugs. And I thought it was really funny that maidservant Kim got the impression that Ook liked guys because he didn't pick Yunok to marry. And speaking of getting married, Dangu and Choyeon are getting married, but it turned from something you celebrate to pretty much hell. And then we get to JinMu's last scheme. So I guess his plan A was to get to the crown prince. You wasn't born under the king's star. Ook was. I can help you with that. But the crown prince is pretty much friends with Ook now, and he knows that Ook sacrificed his energy to save everybody. So plan A failed. And then JinMu came up with a plan B. First, kill Utak. Second, have Ook reveal that he has the ice stone, if he has it. And third, make all of the soul shifters run wild, which Shaman Che has done before. Example, Naksu's dad. And speaking of Naksu, JinMu figured that Mudok is Naksu, and he eventually got to the crown prince by tricking him and saying that everyone else mocked you. JinMu was able to control Naksu with the bells and just went on a killing spree. So her first order was to kill Utak, which she did after Dangu and Choyeon was trying to stop her on their wedding day, for crying out loud. Ook tried to stop her, but then ended up getting stabbed, and he pretty much died for like a good 5 minutes, but I'll get to that point later. And we are reminded of the promise that Ook made to Naksu. If she ever stabbed him, he'll be known as the one who released the assassin. Naksu finally came back and she realized what she had done and broke down crying. Just seeing the combination of the music and everyone hearing the news that Ook is dead was such a critical moment in the finale, and a powerful one at that. And it really shocked me to hear that they were gonna burn the body. And as they were burning the body and we see everyone crying, we see Master Lee, he wasn't crying, and he said, "This is not your end." And we see the fire turn blue and we see smoke everywhere, and coming out of the smoke is Ook. Not only that, Mudok jumped into the ocean. That's where all of the dead soul shifters were pretty much thrown. So she jumped into the water, but then we see two people bring her back up. Is that how she's gonna get her body back? Now, my thoughts on the finale episode. So first, I got the impression that part 2 was going to be a prequel. So I thought everything was going to come to an end in the finale episode. Ook and the Ice Stone, taking down JinMu, Lady Jin finding out that Mudok is Buyeon. But looking at the trailer and seeing that the last episode left on a cliffhanger, It's not a prequel. It's a continuation. It's literally a part 2. The majority of the finale was pretty much love is in the air, and it was, the wedding day, Ook and Mudok are gonna get married, seeing Park Jin and maidservant Kim finally get together, and unfortunately seeing Master Lee cry. But yeah, love was in the air. But once they shifted over to JinMu and just having him pull out one last scheme to really have him get control, it was just mayhem after mayhem. We were waiting for that day to come for Naksu to run wild. And I have been reading the comments in my previous reviews where people said, oh, she's not going to run wild, or maybe she will, but she did. She actually did. So my thoughts on part 1. First, when it comes to historical dramas with romance and magic and action and tenseness, from the storyline or the characters, I'm all in. And all of the main characters actually played a role that was critical for the storyline, and they weren't just there to fill in a spot. Now, speaking of the storyline, yeah, there were times where they were dragging it, where it would have been nice if they focused on the main storyline instead of focusing on the romance at certain times. But I mean, the romance is part of the storyline, and they want to show us the bond between certain characters, so it makes sense. Now, since part 2 is going to have 10 episodes, it looks like they're not gonna drag any unnecessary stories. It looks like they're gonna go straight to it, which hopefully they do, and it's gonna be badass. I know that. Now, with part 1 being done, and I'm having hopes for part 2 to answer this question, and you guys might already know, it's the sperm question. I still can't get over the fact that, when Gang and the former king switched bodies, and then the king had his way with Doa, and Ook is the king's son, and I guess spiritually I can understand, but physically, I mean... And yeah, that's pretty much the gist of the episode and my review. Is there anything I might have missed? Please leave it in the comments below. And that is it for part 1. Reminder, part 2 is coming out this December, this year, you guys, not next year. Hopefully there's no setbacks and no reschedules, and we get to enjoy our Christmas gift of part 2, since it is in December and it's the holidays. And man, I can't wait. I can't wait to see the actress who portrays Naksu to come back. Unfortunately, Jung So-min did not sign up for part 2, so we won't see her again. Probably maybe a flashback, but yeah, she's not coming back. And yeah, that's pretty much it. If you guys liked the video, leave a like, comment down below, and subscribe. See ya.